Good morning. This is Sonsonmushi, and this is a dream diary video again. So this one was pretty weird. I don't know why. All my dreams are weird. What am I talking about? Lots of flying with this one as usual. And as usual, I thought that was normal. And but before that, I went to Washington Square Mall, but it was my old high school. Like the outside was the mall, but once you went inside, it was totally just like my old high school. And so I parked there, and I get out of the car, and my car is far from the parking lot part, it's sticking out. And so I manually repark my car by pushing it into place, and then I pushed it too far, so I pulled it out of place. Yeah, I was manually parking my car on the outside. It was weird. And so it parks, and I was using the car to the left of my car. Yeah, for reference. And I go inside of the building, the mall type place, which is like the school once I go inside. And there's a line. There's a line to go see this friend that I have known since elementary school. And yeah, there were some people in line from my school that I recognized. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I went in to go visit him, and then I went in to visit him, and yeah, it was basically he was dying. He had, in the dream they said he had MS, and they said all sorts of stuff, or he said, no, he wasn't really, I don't know, he was in a lot of pain and different, I don't know. It made me really sad. And then yeah, and I'm just now remembering there's more to this dream, because when I went to see him, he and I already had some sort of conversation or text about something. But yeah, I went to see him, and it was knowing this was the last of seeing him, and it made me really sad. And so I left the room, and then suddenly I was at my cousin's house, and I got myself some juice, and then I left. And then I was supposed to be going on some sort of beach, lake, forest trip thing with my brother Andrew and his girlfriend Irene. And I get to their place, and it's a house. It's not anywhere they actually live, and I don't really recognize this place. Well, it's kind of like my grandma's house, sorta. Yeah, it was basically that. So it was my Benoit's house. And yeah, I was there. I was flying a bit on my way there, and I get there, and I talk to Andrew about how my friend has this, because he saw I was in the mood, and he was like, oh, I mean, so sounds like he should have seen this coming, he had all the time to plan for it, blah blah blah. And I was I got pissed at my brother. I was I don't care, so what, this sucks, it was just, I was irritated in the dream. I was Okay, so I was like taking out items from my coat, and I took off my jacket. It was like sunny and warm outside. And Irene was like, what are you doing?" And like she knew I was about to go run off and fly, and I did. I like ran, and then like I like jumped, and then I started flying. I was flying above the trees, and then I was going down the street a bit until until I kind of got yelled at by like this neighbor there, telling me like, "Hey," and I like lowered, and I was like, "Oh, yeah." He was like, "Hey, can't be flying that high above the trees, like a little bit below the trees." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then he was like, "Where are you? Where are you guys heading? Like, what are you up to?" And I was like, "Oh, we're going to," and then I think I knew the name of it, but and he was like, "Oh, is that like a lake or a forest or I don't know." He said one thing. We were like, yeah, and Andrew and Irene showed up somehow, and we were like, "No, it's like a beach, a lake, a forest. We're not really sure, but we're going there to like I don't know for some reason." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And then as soon as we were done talking to him, I went back to flying too high. I was like, "Whatever, I want to fly." So, and from the distance, I could hear him kind of yelling at me, like, "Hey, son, you shouldn't be flying that high." Yeah. And then we made it to the beach, lake, forest place thing, and there was like a gate, and there was like this like little like I don't know, I want to call it like a scribble. It was like a little small like monster ball thing. I don't know. It was alive. It wasn't like an actual ball, but I would describe it as a ball, and it was like kind of freaky. And then we were there, and we learned like, oh, we're not supposed to let it out, and it can like kill everyone and stuff. And then, but Andrew and Irene were on that side of the gate with it, and I was on the other side, and so we opened the gate to let them in, and in doing that, the thing got on that side, and they're like, they like kicked it around, and then they kicked it at an angle. I was like, "Okay, I got this," and I kicked it back in, and then we closed the gate, and we were like, "Okay, well, it's good that we got it back in there. That thing is kind of scary." Yeah, and there was a whole different part of the dream where I was like, "Oh, this is before the going to the school and like seeing my elementary school friend there." Um, I was like some girl, and I had like a sister and a brother, and like our mom. And our mom was like, it was like a show, so it was like at the scene with like our mom, and like people were like threatening her to, like do stuff, and she's like, "Oh, now you," like she like said the most intimidating like badass lines, but every time she did, like the weird mobster type people always had something to one up, like, "Oh, they're actually going to your kids right now." I'm like, "Yeah." And then she'd be like, "Oh, I so," like she's like, "Oh, you just messed with the wrong lady," and they're like, they just kept not getting intimidated by her. When I was listening, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like I'd be intimidated, but yeah, no, me and all her kids were in danger. Yeah, she did not succeed at stopping the people at all. And so it went to me, and I was like at this shop, and I was working there, and this person like showed up, and like, yeah, yelled at me and intimidated me, and then like I like reached down, and grabbed the gun and started trying to load it in front of him, but then like he got one, and like I was like, and then he shot me, but I like he missed me at the same time. Um, so I'm running around the store trying to load this gun, but eventually I'm just like, screw that, and I leave, and then I make it to my siblings, and tell them that like these people are on the way to like pretty much kill us, and they're like, oh dang, and like my sister and brother are like, let's just go outside into the public, and we leave our house or this place, and yep, there's a bunch of people in public, and we're like, let's blend in with them, and we cross the street and blend in with them, and walk around with them, and then yeah, and then that just somehow transitions to me going to the Washington Square Mall and parking my car. I don't remember exactly how that happened. There may have been a little bit of flying during one of the moments of walking around the streets, but I don't 100% remember. So yeah, that was pretty much my dream, but the dream ends with like kicking that weird scribble monster thing back into the gate, or back on the other side of the gate at that place we went to go vacation or go celebrate at or whatever. Place was either a beach, a forest, or a lake, or all three. Ugh. I think it was like. I was gonna say it was like different seasons with each part of the dream, because it definitely felt like it was summer or something, with the whole going to that place with like Andrew and Irene. The beginning of the dream felt like now, like fall, Halloween. It did feel like it was like a Halloween movie. That beginning part with like me and like a brother and a sister and like a mom. Like it felt like a Halloween type of energy. And then yeah, and then the rest of the dream it was just like a lot warmer. Yeah, I wouldn't say the seasons changed throughout the dream, but it definitely like the wanting to be outside and like how much like I needed to be dressed. Yeah, I guess it was just now, because it's not really that cold right now in general either. Alright, so that was my dream. Love and light, guys. Bye.